Alright, so surprise, I'm back with some more Dōbutsu no Mori. I haven't touched this game since, what, late April? Something like that. It's been a while. Mainly because I kind of just forgot about it. I just put it back on my shelf and forgot about it after the second time I did it. And yeah, I wonder what the town looks like now. Oh right, I can't read anything. Lovely. I think that's saying it's the 11th of January. Alright, I have to use the analog stick for this. Oh god, I'm gonna have to bring out Google Translate again. Just to get through this. Can I go back? No? Are we gonna have to use Google Translate for everything? Alright. Okay, this is the audio options. Lovely. I want it in stereo. Thank you very much. What's your name? Google's translating their name as Mohair. Okay, so we're in stereo. What's this? How to put the animal don't start. What do you mean? Google Translate, please. I'm just clicking that because I have no idea what it's not even registering for Google, whatever that is. Whatever those first characters are, Google doesn't know what those are. Teeth, it's like this. Is this okay? Teeth. What do you mean, teeth? What do you mean, teeth? So, okay, after all, wait. Oh, it's their voices. Yeah, I noticed, like, their animal little noises went away. Okay, so stereo. I get it now. Animal. There we go. I'm learning. I feel like what oh, saying that line, because that's a line that they say in the game. I feel like one of the Seaman from the Dreamcast game Seaman. I'm learning how to speak. Although I'm using a crappy translator to try and get through this menu system. So, okay. Before that, I want to change the calendar. Adult, let's go. That thing. Super stop. That thing. Break down the house. I like the first one. Remake the unevenness to match. After all, stop. This is the clock, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay. We're back in business. Yeah, so I still haven't resoldered the battery in the cart for this, because the cart, battery is dead. So I'm having to go in here manually to reset the clock each time I play. Okay. So it is now August, and I'm playing this on the 2nd. This will probably go up tomorrow, the next day, on August 3rd. If it doesn't, some sort of hoodoo, voodoo, something happened, because this I do plan on putting out on the 3rd, so. Alright, military time. So what time is it? It is 3:35 in the afternoon. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yes, we can start finally. This is a shit show at the beginning. What is this? Oh yeah, Nisuti. I think that was just the random characters that I chose to name my character. Oh boy, how difficult is it to get into Animal Crossing? No! Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, I forgot. There's a little bit of a weirdness. Like, the character controls... Like, it's three-dimensional, but because it's N64, it's like 4 directions you can move in, but the character itself... Like, obviously, I've played the GameCube Animal Crossing plenty of times, and I think I brought this up probably while I was first trying this version out, but, like, the character has a 360 movement, but because the N64 itself only has 8 directional analog directions for the controller, and I've modified this controller probably close to a year ago at this point to be a GameCube analog stick. So it just responds better and is a lot nicer than that flimsy little slippery analog stick of pure dread and plastic that the original N64 controllers had. Not a big fan of those. They're fine if you get used to them, but using this controller is like luxury. It's so nice. Even though this is the controller that has the adapter port problems from the Pokemon Stadium 2 video, and I still have Crystal plugged into the bottom of this thing. I'm taking that out. It's completely pointless here. That takes a lot of weight off the controller, actually. This thing is now weightless. Alright, yeah. Dōbutsu no Mori. Chill, nothing game, just walk around town, listen to music, look at the pretty graphics, and take things. What is this? A green knit hat, I assume? Just calls it a green knit. Oh, shirt. What in the crap? I can't even tell what this is supposed to be. It just looks like a bunch of neon lines. No, thank you. I'll stick with this outfit. I also have a ton of presents. I didn't even pay attention to the mail. Happy Home Academy, I think. I have no idea who that's from. I think these are fossils. Now, in the last time, I believe it was last time, I talked a bit about some of the differences between the North American version. Well, the first Animal Crossing 1 is weird in that there's about 4 different versions of it. How many versions actually? Let me count. There's Animal Crossing for North America, then Japan got the North American version, and then they did another redo of this on the GameCube. Yeah, there's Animal Crossing Plus, then there's Animal Crossing GameCube, then there's Animal Crossing Japanese on the GameCube, and yeah, there's like 4 or 5 versions of the same game. Like, it's weird. It's really weird. They just kept revising the same game and reselling it over and over and over again, and it's funny to me. It's funny to me, given... Do I have a net? Oh, thank you. That butterfly looks nice. No. Come here. Oh, this little bugger's fast. Get over here. Stop it. Stop being a butterfly. Sit still. Oh, we're gonna be like that, huh? It's hiding in this tree. The rock. The rock. It dodged that. I saw it dodge that. Thank you. Finally. What is this thing? It doesn't even look like one from Animal Crossing that I'm aware of. Hooray, I caught a Japanese emperor. Somewhere in Shimaguni, it seems to be a kuni butterfly. I have no idea what that means. But I guess it's called a Japanese emperor. Anyway, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 different versions of this game, and I find it funny how often people complain about there being, like, I'm annoyed in and of itself as it is about there being multiple versions of, like, Pokemon redos and all that over and over and over again, like Sun and Moon, then Ultra Sun and Moon, and then yeah, it's just, didn't they do, yeah, they did a repackage of Sword and Shield already as well. There's the Sword and Shield, and then there's Sword and Shield with the expansion packs on the cart as well. They've already repackaged that as a physical version. I think I've only seen like one of those at a GameStop maybe, but regardless, they're out there. It's just like how many times they redid this game and resold it in stores for people to buy again. I don't know how much it would have cost to rebuy this game over in Japan and such, but because we only got one version of this game. They had 3. So, I don't know, I just find it a little ironic. Ah, man. Got a fossil. Oh yeah, what I was trying to go, my mind's rewinding back. What was the whole purpose of me bringing up the whole different versions of this game? So the fossils, I think last time I talked about the differences in the North American versus the Japanese, like this Animal Crossing versus what we got in America, because this is the very first Animal Crossing. And there's no museum in this game. There is absolutely no museum. You send off your fossils, and you get them back, and you either put them in your house for... The main point of them, it seems, in this game, is to use them as furniture for a decent amount of Happy Home Academy points. Other than that, they're just something to sell. There is no other purpose for them. The same applies to things like fish and bugs and such. Aside from, you know, filling up your catalogs over here, but there's no catalogs for the fossils, so there's even less of a point to the fossils in my opinion. I was gonna say the cicada stopped chirping and must have sensed me. Colonel, there's a pointy-headed kid walking towards me with a shovel. What do I do? Fly away, Snake. You're a cicada in this fantasy for some reason. Oh, right. Otacon, he caught me! I hear a different cicada, although it's probably gonna fly away. Oh, yeah, it was right there, too. I didn't even see it until I ran up to it. Well, it is summer now, so there's a lot more insects out and about. I forgot my town had peaches for the fruit. I enjoy either having a town of peaches or oranges. Cherries are fine. In the later games, I'm not... Ooh, swallowtail. I'm not the... Wow, I caught it at that height. Alright. I just saw a swallowtail yesterday. Yesterday I was out in a patch of forest and there were hummingbirds and swallowtail butterflies, and I may as well have been some cast member of Disney. Nature. Is there anything else out and about? Oh, Gulliver. Wake up, dude. He spoke in English. Please, please help me. Come on, get up, dude. You're not dead yet. You will not dead yet. You will laugh and you will sing. And if you don't sing, I shall toss you back to Poseidon. Yes, yes. I've noticed, I don't know how many, I don't remember exactly how many times it takes to get Gulliver up in the North American versions, but man, I remember last time I did this, it took a lot of times, and yeah, you had to like really persuade him to get up here. What's he saying? Huh? What about the Sokka? Come on, Google. Come on. You can read the LED screen. It's in 4K. Come on. I'm Ukari Tsumatsuite Desate Fune Tsukorog Ochitas Desita. I have no idea what any of this is. He's speaking in Romanji. Oh, his name in Japanese is Johnny. Huh. You are me. Help me. Kusada's desune? Arigato gozaimasu. Okay. It's like he's speaking half in Romanji and half not. I don't know if it's supposed to be a joke or what he's doing here. By the way, are you Chikan? Yeah, just more Romanji. To the habit of a man. Not gonna lie, whatever Google's spitting out here, it looks like some sort of rude joke, so I'm not gonna read that. What the hell, Google? Become a major player. I think he's talking about sailors? Don't mind, don't be afraid. What are you saying, dude? It's all like... like, I'm understanding a very small percentage of this. But that kind of crap... Dude, you can't say crap in a Nintendo game. You'll get fired, dude. You can't do that. You're gonna... Miyamoto's gonna come into this game. He's gonna come into this 25-year-old game. Oh, almost 25. It's this over 20-year-old game. He's gonna break into my room, rip the card out of my N64, break it over his knee, and smile at me. Then he's gonna levitate and fly away out my window. Can't say that, dude. Then that to you. Rare item. I forgot, he, instead of, like he gives you other things in this game. I remember that. He gives you just specifically, like, rare to get items from the shop or something. Like, things you don't like, you can get at Nooks, but you don't normally see. They have a very low chance of appearing or something. I don't exactly know how that works out, but it's something different than what the GameCube version does. He's talking about seagulls. You are a seagull, my good sir. A guy called Strawberry? I don't know nobody called Strawberry. Goodbye. Okay, yeah. I don't know what that joke I think it was, because there was a lot of quotation marks in one of the things, and the translation came up a bit weird from Google. So I don't know if he made a rude joke or something, or what. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen a digging spot under the water like that. Like, it's technically kinda not, but it is. It's here. That's weird. It's also the last thing I can pick up at the moment. It's a fossil. Yeah, I've never seen one there. Like, underneath the waves a bit. It's odd. This is an odd version of this game. And there's also frame rate inconsistencies because this game is a bit impressive for the N64. Because this was supposed to be a N64 DD game, if I remember right, back when I was doing my research for the summer. And obviously that never happened, and it was put on a cart. In the same way Majora's Mask was. Can pick up one other thing. Let me try getting this grasshopper. Alright. So let's go to Nook's. Sell some stuff. And mail, buy some postage and mail some stuff as well. Where is Nooks again? I have no idea where he is. I believe he's right over here. Oh, the money for the day is also right next to him. Good. So yeah, so I had to dig out my N64 to start playing this again. It's fun. I say dig out. The N64 has been sitting in a corner of my room for the past, like, 2 months since I last played Pokemon Stadium. It's just been sitting on the floor in a corner. And, it's kind of dusty. I need to dust it after this. But, yeah, it's just been sitting in it. It's the PlayStation TV and, all the hookups for that are still just sitting out in front of my TV as well, and they're just all super dusty, because I haven't used those since early May? Yeah, early May. Last time I used it was J-Stars. Anyway. Okay, what are you offering, my good man? I forgot. Yeah, the first option is turnips. I have something I want to eat. Show me the catalog. Enough. Let's eat. Yeah, just playing this today. I've kind of abandoned ship on the Skyward Sword playthrough because it was a fantastic 4 hours I spent playing that first part, and then I just never got around to it again. I just didn't. It's not even that I didn't want to play the game, I just lost the mojo to play the game. And I probably will continue it at some point, but for now I threw it into the one-off section just as an unsure, maybe I'll come back to it later kind of thing. But, yeah, the Breath of the Wild, the Skyward Sword playthrough, for now, will just be a one-off. It's a very long, I say long, it's a long video, but the entire thing, it felt so fast to me playing that those 4 hours of that game that that really blew by me. And I made fantastic progress in it too. I got up to Elden Volcano in just 4 hours. That was pretty crazy. But for right now, I'm kind of gearing to do the Iki Island expansion for Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe something else. I'm kind of at a point where I'm kind of content with just doing maybe one game, like one long playthrough, and a few one-offs in there. That's why I'm doing this right now. This is just an in-between. It's a little break for me. It's something different, something off the cuff. And a bit more chill. Right, you have to buy paper individually in this game, and they all cost 40 bells. Yeah, this, whatever this border is around this paper really hurts my eyes. So I'm just gonna speed up these letters so I can get rid of them. Can I not throw these away inside the building? Okay, it's not letting me throw them away. I got a shovel, I got my net on me. I don't have an axe, but I don't really need one. My voice is also tired today. And to do a lot of talking. No, I do not want the tile floor. What is the wallpaper? Absolutely not, my good sir. Alright. I'm also gearing up with film for a project. A photo project, yes. And I showed it to someone. And immediately, because of the suitcase I'm using to store it in, they're like, dude, you're looking ready to fight some cholera. And I'm not gonna show it here because it shows the photo stock and such. I don't mind it showing the room that it's in, but the photo stock I'd prefer not to show. But, because it's film, and it's a lot of different stuff. And, but I made this, like, 4-second little, probably TikTok or Vine. Remember Vine? I never used Vine, but I remember when people were apeshit about that stuff, and now everything's about TikTok. But it's probably worthy of one of those things. And it's just me. Actually, I have the case behind me. I could probably just redo the audio of that. So I move a few things. And seal it up. So I got my big old suitcase here. It's time for your film. Just some stupid... Like, I open up the suitcase and then I hold film up to the camera. Just like as if you're some call-in doctor in, like, the mid-20th, early 20th century. Oh, technically, just an old... I'm thinking about it, I was like, wait, no, they had that in the 18th century, they had that in the 19th century. Damn it. An old-timey call-in doctor who just, like, shows up with a suitcase full of medicines that says it'll fix you, and then you die of tuberculosis anyway. Just that kind of thing. But instead, I'm the doctor who brings you the photographic film. Sir, we didn't order a film doctor, we wanted a doctor. I'm sorry. Just take this roll of 35 and shove it down your throat. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. The quietness means you've been fixed. So okay. Gulp. And instead, they become a Hulk made out of film. The first superhero. In oh no, 35 film was developed in the 50s and 60s. Oh no. The first superhero in the 1960s. I don't know. I'm talking shit at this point. I am bored and relaxed and playing Animal Crossing for goddamn sakes. I don't know. Anyway, let me look at my list of topics because I'm getting scatterbrained. Because right now I'm just running around looking for things to pick up and dig. Oh man, is it 4 o'clock? Or it actually is 4 o'clock. Oh, I have a few pretty decent topics, I guess. I watched the He-Man sequel. He-Man Revelations, the one on Netflix. And I actually really enjoyed it. it's apparently mixed for most people, and I don't entirely understand why exactly. Because it was really, really damn good. It was really damn good. Now, here's the thing, is that I could see people being bored. I'm gonna run in circles while I talk about this around this shrine, because it is not a well in this game. Now, here's the thing. If you enjoy He-Man for the haha Skeletor jokes and the goofiness, kind of like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, you're not that. If you enjoy that stuff about He-Man, you're not gonna enjoy this show. You're gonna get bored as fuck if that's what you're expecting out of this show. This show has a few quips. It's a little self-referential, and it's cute and a little funny at times. But the normal original He-Man is... the demographic it was aimed for was like 8 to 10-year-old kids to buy action figures. The whole thing was a marketing ploy, basically, to get you to buy action figures. But here's the thing, is He-Man did have a plot. It does have its own universe, its own plot, its own characters, lore, stories, all that stuff. And that is entirely what this new season sequel series thing is, because it's a feed-off, it's a continuation of the Filmation series, the original series. Because that series was canceled on the last season before they could put out the last season, which... spoilers for He-Man, I guess, from like 35 years ago. But the last season of the original He-Man was supposed to cover characters like Scareglow and the main premise of the last season, to my understanding from what I remember, was it's supposed to reveal who Skeletor is and what is inside Castle Grayskull. That was their original intent. That was Filmation's and Mattel's original intent, and then Mattel pulled the plug because the toys stopped selling, and they just didn't end it. They just didn't care. And they cut funding and all that, and Filmation just moved on to... what they move on to after that? Was it Brave Star? I think it was Brave Star. It was either Brave Star or some other thing. But, yeah, if you like He-Man for the... yeah, He-Man, I'm gonna steal your power sword and use it to kill Orko and raise an army of the dead that will conquer the world. You can't do that, Skeletor, because the power sword is on my back and in my hand, so you'll have to come get it. If you enjoy, like, that kind of goofy, over-the-top, ridiculous, funny, it's amusing. I really enjoy it. That's what gives the series a lot of character. It's just kind of schlocky and dumb and fun, and that's good. I love that. That is not really what this is about, and I didn't go in expecting any of that kind of stuff in the first place. But knowing how Kevin Smith kind of was like... I know Kevin Smith, who the director was. He is a really big fan of He-Man, and to me, it showed very obviously that that was the case with what he was doing here, because this series, it's 5 episodes right now. I think there's supposed to be another part of it. I think it's entirely supposed to be 10 episodes. I thought it was 10 episodes, but there's only 5 episodes out right now, so I don't know. In any case, the last episode left off on a really interesting mark, but it's all about the lore. This guy created a very serious, well, not serious, but a very it's an action drama. It's not an action comedy like the original series was. This is an action drama. And he really delved into, if you've read the comics, know the lore about the action figures, the show itself, the guy dug into a lot of places I didn't expect him to. He brought back Scareglow, for goddamn sake. That was just put out as an action figure with an intent to be put in the show. But he actually brought back Scareglow and integrated him extraordinarily well into the story. I loved how Scareglow was portrayed. I liked the voice actor, and I liked the fight he had with Orko. That was fantastic. And they elaborate a bit more on Evil Lynn's character and her personality and such. That was very good. Teela was a little bit like, I understand why she was upset at Adam throughout most of the season, but I think it went a little bit overboard on the like just the hate aspect. I think she to me that was a bit of a, all right, you need to grow up a bit and act more like an adult instead of just pouting all the time. Just get over it. He didn't lie to you. He's your friend. The same stuff that Cringer said later on. Just like, come on, it's all right. He didn't lie to anybody. Because he was still him. He was just He-Man when he needed to be and all that and such. Anyway. But yeah, if you're going into this season looking for some sort of like 80s like G.I. Joe-esque kind of goofiness, then you're not gonna have a fun time. This is done by the studio that did the Castlevania reboot and, well, Castlevania reboot, wow. The Castlevania show, which I enjoyed that as well. I didn't see the newest season. But yeah, to me it showed very obviously the way the what were they called again? I'm forgetting now. I'm getting caught on. I've been thinking all day about Lord of the Rings lore because Amazon just showed off some stuff about their Numenor show, which I'm still wondering now from that screenshot if in that screenshot shows Numenor or if it shows Valinor, because Valinor shouldn't be in this show. It should be Numenor. That's where it's taking place in the Second Age. But anyway, getting away from that fantasy world back into the He-Man fantasy world. Yeah, a lot of the lore was very well done. Castle Grayskull was an illusion that housed the power of the universe, which this is all spoilers. This is all spoilers. If you don't want to see this, skip like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. I have no idea how long I'm going to be talking about this. But yeah, Castle Grayskull is an illusion. Skeletor breaks open the orb that contains the universe's power and such. And all of that was originally canon to the lore involving the power of the universe being inside Castle Grayskull like that, in the basement. The castle itself was an illusion. That's part of the lore. And the twist for me for this, because I'm watching this and I'm just like, okay, this first episode's pretty beat for beat how I would expect the finale for He-Man to kind of go, pretty much in a more action-y oriented way, but this was still kind of what they were going for back then a little bit. At least in the plot standpoint, not in the presentation standpoint. And the twist for me in this whole thing wasn't Adam dying and He-Man dying and all that after saving the universe by sacrificing himself, which I thought was a really smart and good idea. I thought that was amazing to have the most powerful man in the universe die. That was like, that was a fantastic twist to a reboot episode that I'm sure pissed off a lot of people. I'm sure that pissed off a lot of people, but I thought it was brilliant. If it makes you emotional like that, that is good writing. That is good writing. And for me, I was authentically a little upset. I was like, oh man, he's dead. Oh shit. And Skeletor with him, kinda. I say kinda. But, what was that? Those two did something. What'd you two do? I don't know, but they're happy now. The twist for me was in episode 2, when they jump a while into the future after Adam's dead, Skeletor's gone, and the world is pretty much left with a dwindling amount of magic, and it's just evaporating away as it's being used, because there's no more magic in Eternia, and Eternia is created by magic, so once you have that gone, the world's kind of dying at that point. It's not exactly post-apocalyptic, but it's kind of just like a little bit more weird. It's a bit more like they're all trying to cling to what they have left in this dying world in a way, but it's not really post-apocalyptic. But I was amazed. I thought he would be a bit character from the trailer. They have Triclops as kind of the main antagonist of the season. At least those 5 episodes, because he's now leading some weird cyber cult against magic, and it was amazing to see that because he was already a bit character in the same vein as someone like Mossman or Fisto. He wasn't on that secondary tier of characters like Merman or Beastman or who's another one, like the king, that kind of secondary tier below the main characters like Skeletor, Evil Lyn, He-Man, Orko, Man-at-Arms. He was always in the third tier. Triclops was always in the third tier. And then they prop him up here to be a major antagonist. And it is funny as crap to have him leading like this new age cult of nanite cyber anti-magic weirdness, like giving people glasses of nanites that then transmorgify them into weird magical cyborg things that will do his bidding. And I thought that was brilliantly bizarre. That came out of left field, and I thought it was amazingly weird. I clapped. Once I saw him giving the glass to the dude and him transforming, I was just like, yes, yes, this is the weirdness. This is the good shit. I can't believe they went in this weird direction, and I loved it. Because then you have like, well, I forget his name. Is he like Clapjaw or Trapjaw or something? The dude with the metal chin was there. The dude who blows up constantly and such, he was there. And they're going along with it. They're all going along with it. I like seeing this weird time skip reality of He-Man, and it was amazing. It felt more real, too, because it's like, what would the world be like without magic and He-Man and Skeletor? And the other thing that's kind of sidelined in the series, like not really talked about, it's just a thing. I have to catch my breath. Is, if you watch the series, you'll see there's a lot of advanced future technology. The cities are all, like, Bespin-ish. They're all very Star Wars-y in a way, almost, in their design. They all have these hovercrafts and laser guns and weird cyber armor and such. There's a lot of advanced technology in He-Man. And if you take the magic away, you kind of are gonna get some sort of weird cyber cult instead of magic and wizards and such, because people, the old gods are dead, the new gods are here, rise up with your cyber technology, that kind of crap. That it makes sense to me. It really does make a lot of sense. I'm just amazed they went through with it, and it turned out really interesting. And then they went on their grand adventure, trying to, like, find the reforge and fix up the power sword and such, and that was interesting. It was very Tolkien-esque in a way. It was very Fellowship of the Ring kind of, like these characters who kind of, some of them hate each other, some of them are friends, and it's an unlikely band of heroes trying to save the world. And I thought I liked that dynamic. I really liked that dynamic. And yeah, then after that, they bring in Scareglow, and I thought his presentation, the way they used him in the show, I was like, yes, this is what this character deserved. Because Scareglow was supposed to be in the series as some sort of ending antagonist towards the end of He-Man, and he never got to be in any of the animated shows to my knowledge. He was never in the original, and I don't believe they put him in the New Adventures of He-Man or whatever that Cartoon Network reboot from like 15 years ago was. And they put him in this, and he was fantastic. So he's not just a action figure anymore. He's actually got character to him, and I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, then they fixed the power sword. The lore with I really enjoyed seeing I forget what it's called. There's like Unturnia and above Turnia. It's a heaven and hell thing. They have to go to hell, they have to go to heaven to reforge the power sword. And they go to the heaven area, and you got Grayskull there himself, and you got Hero, who was one of those action figures and characters from the lore that I don't remember if he's in the original animated show or not, but he's one of the previous heroes of Eternia and such. It was just interesting seeing all the other characters from the lore of the series be shown here, and I enjoyed it. It was really comfy. It was like, wow, this is This is good shit. So, I enjoyed that. And was there anything I'm actually trying to think. Was there anything that I didn't like? Not really. I'm trying to think. It's just like nothing's coming to mind. I'm thinking of the characters. I'm thinking of the writing. I'm thinking of the music. I'm thinking like the music was good. The animation was pretty good. I like the revised character designs. I thought they looked very... They stuck to the classic look of them, but just slightly modernized them a bit. And then for their future selves, they gussied them up to look a bit more aged, or, you know, make it obvious that time is skipped. And that made sense. And they look good. They honestly look very good. I like how Merman's missing an eye in the future. Or at least it's really badly hurt. Because it's got like a Kakashi Hatake kind of scar across it, and he just keeps it closed. But, yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was 5 episodes. It was a good afternoon watching that. And, yeah. This has just become me reviewing, giving my opinion of the He-Man show at this point. The Animal Crossing stuff's done. It's just a video on the screen that means nothing now. What do I have in my inventory? Well, I can send off another fossil. This kind of is my problem with Animal Crossing in general. At least the older ones is, there's not a whole lot for me to do. Like, I can talk to some of the characters and such, but I don't entirely care about that dynamic a whole lot. In some of them, this one is interesting, given it's a different language and I have to kind of piece together what they mean, but... okay, let's sell. So yeah, I'd give the He-Man show a pretty decent review. I wouldn't give it a number grade, but I had fun with it. It felt like a warm blanket to someone who really enjoys He-Man. Although, I've seen a weird mix of people who hate it because, like, He-Man dies and it's not really about He-Man and such. You didn't pay attention entirely then, because the whole point is about He-Man. The whole point is getting the Power Sword back together and possibly bringing him back to life, which, in the end episode, super spoilers, he does come back to life. So it's just like, yeah. Now we'll get to see what they do next with Skeletor using the Power Sword and getting what he wanted. I'm very curious how that's gonna play out. Oh yeah, what? Two other things. I'm just gonna bring up two other things. Two little subnotes that just hit my mind right now as I'm thinking about some of the episodes. I really loved how they went to Trolla, even if it was just an illusion of sorts from Scareglow. They had Orko and Evil Lyn go to Trolla, where the world, the dimension where Orko is from, because he's a Trolla. And... well, a troll. I don't know if he's a troll or a trolla, I forget what his species name is, but the world is called Trolla. And I thought it looked beautiful. I thought whatever painting, whatever designer who redid the artwork for that world, it looked nice. It looked really nice. I like the color scheme it had. And the one other character that I enjoyed his redesign was Beastman. They made him straight up into this tribal Beastman, like, weird, like, he gets like a little psychotic in some instances, like protecting Evil Lyn and just being a bit paranoid in that hallucination sequence that he's in. So I don't know, I thought Beastman, he doesn't have a whole lot of lines, and he's not he's probably one of the least important characters of that group from those episodes, but I liked his character design and the slight nuances they gave his character. It was fun. It was a fun ride. Anyway, let's get off that topic. I have more topics. Da, 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 da. I'll talk about this other thing that I watched, I guess, as I go back to Nook and get a piece of paper because I forgot to get a piece of paper. I went to a movie theater, an odd thing to do in this day and age, and saw The Green Knight, the movie by A24 Studios or whatever they're called. They're doing that new movie, Lamb, which I'm very interested in seeing as well. But I saw The Green Knight. It's an Arthurian story from, you know, like King Arthur, Lancelot, and all that. It's there. I don't know why I'm selling things. They did an adaptation of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and it was fantastic. That is the best movie I've seen this year, and I would not mind. I would love to pick up the Blu-ray whenever it comes out, because the movie theater I saw it at had, I think their projector was acting up or something, because I noticed the resolution was a little low, and I could see some of the little pixels in their projector and such, and there was also a vignette around the whole movie, and I don't know if that was a stylistic choice on the movie or not. The trailer and some of the video feeds I've seen of it, I don't think it is. I think it was just that movie projector, but there's a vignette around the movie, so it kind of made it a little darker than I think it was supposed to be shown. So I'd love to rewatch that again, but it was a fantastic movie. A bit of kindness, good sir. Throws him a coin. Starts walking away. The best way I can describe The Green Knight is it's very, I'd say from my memory of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, I haven't read that story in probably 5-ish years, but it was very accurate to the story. They took a few liberties, but it was fairly accurate. But the thing that intrigued me the most was the unsettling atmosphere throughout the entire movie, from beginning to, I'd say, no, not from beginning, I say from about 10 minutes into the film through the entirety to the ending. The movie gave me this weird, unsettled vibe that was just tension, and I was amazed that it did that. That was like a perfect vibe for me to be interested in some sort of weird, not really horror, but just strange saga of events that Gawain went through. Hold on, I gotta put the fossil. Wait, did I put the fossil? Yeah, I did, okay. So, if you want to watch a movie that makes you uncomfortable, but is a fantastic story, and looks beautiful, the story was amazing. And the visual effects, the music, the characters, it was A+. It was an, I'd give that an S+ ranking. Super. Okay, so how do I mail things here? Let me bring up the translator again. What are you saying, miss? I want to get a letter, I want to impress, I want to read the text. Disagreeable, nothing. So I think it's the second option. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's for the house. Yeah, here it is, okay. So yeah, I enjoyed both the He-Man continuation and the Green Knight movie. The Green Knight movie, I'm happy that both of these two things that I was looking kind of forward to, just kind of vaguely, like, it's like, yeah, I'll see that. If it's good, it's good. And they turned out to really impress me. And getting back on some of today's topics, because today Amazon showed off, now we're dipping into another fantasy world. We've done He-Man, we've done King Arthur, now we're moving into Lord of the Rings. So, Amazon showed off their first picture of the upcoming TV show that they're doing based off of the Silmarillion. They're going to be doing a show. I think Netflix is doing a show, and I think Amazon is doing a show. I'm not sure. I forget who's doing War of the Rohirrim. It's going to be an animated show, and that's going to cover, like, Helm's Deep and Helm Hammerhand and that. And, this Amazon show is going to be live action, filmed in New Zealand, and it's supposed to take place during the Second Age, during the events of Numenor. Now, for anyone who doesn't know Lord of the Rings lore, alright, let me crack my knuckles, because just like Witcher 3, there's a lot of lore for this fantasy world. Where to start? Okay. So, on the left side of the planet Arda, you have a land called Valinor. That is where, like, the gods live, and the Maiar, which is the race of beings that Gandalf and Sauron and Saruman, they're all that race. They're all Maiar. So, they're all from Valinor, and they travel to the east. They travel out to Middle-earth, eventually. I don't believe... Now, Gandalf never goes to Beleriand. He doesn't... Yeah, he doesn't go to Beleriand. So, for those who don't know the geographic history of Lord of the Rings, so you have Valinor on as its own continent on the left side of the planet. Then in the middle of... Think of it like our planet. Like, you have Valinor where, like, North America, South America would be. Then in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, we're going to say, but in the middle of the ocean on Arda, there is a star-shaped island called Numenor. That is where a specific race of men are from. They're Numenorians. And they live there. They have their own very successful civilization there. And then on the eastern coast, like Europe, Africa, that kind of coast on our planet. You have on the other side, on the east coast, you have Beleriand, Middle-earth, and Haradrim. Haradrim is south of Middle-earth, and they're a large portion of the race of men that fight alongside Sauron in, like, the second and third movies of Lord of the Rings, as a way to ease that idea. They're the ones with the elephants. They're the ones with the elephants, as Sam calls them. Yeah, olifants. It's with the O-L-L-O fonts, I think they're spelled for Lord of the Rings. Olifants. They're those guys. So you have that. Well, you have them. Anyway, so in the First Age, Beleriand sinks into the sea. It's a continent that, like, you have the Blue Mountains, you have think the western coast of Middle-earth. If you know the western side, you have the ocean out there, the western coast of it. That actually wasn't an ocean before, and below that ocean, by the time of the movies and such, in The Hobbit, it's all ocean. But before that, there was a continent, well, a part of the continent there called Beleriand, and it sinks at the end of the First Age. And it mostly had a few races of men and the majority of the races of elves. So this season, well, this show, it is a season, but this show that Amazon's doing takes place in the Second Age. So it's going to happen after Beleriand sinks and focus mainly on the events of Numenor, apparently. And I'm assuming it's going to take place during Numenor's, you know, like, prominence, and then it's going to feed into Numenor's decline, up until eventually when Numenor is destroyed by the gods for pretty much being a bunch of dicks. And the race, the remaining, like, normal, the good Numenorians, let's just call them that, the good Numenorians who didn't become dicks, they sail to Middle-earth and found Minas Tirith, the big the big city featured in the last 2 movies that has the big, like, jutting bridge and is big, like, white with the parapet. It's the city at the end with the fight at Pelennor Fields. That big city. They made that city. It's their city. And Aragorn is part of their heritage. I'm trying to condense, like, so much lore into just very brief, like, nonchalant stuff. Is there anything more to that? Oh, I'm curious about what Amazon showed. So Amazon showed their screenshot. That's the show that they're supposed to be making, to everybody's knowledge who knows about what they're doing with this show, is that it's going to be Numenor and a story of it. My question about what Amazon showed is that the screenshot they showed looks like Numenor, but off in the distance, I could spy in its low-res JPEG artifacting that there were 2 glowing trees, and I'm not sure if they're going to do something original with that concept, or if that picture is actually a picture of Valinor. Now, to anyone who knows Lord of the Rings lore, Valinor had 2 shining trees of life, basically. And God, what are their names? Ungoliant and what's his name? Melkor. So Ungoliant and Melkor's like the original Sauron. I'm trying to simplify all of this stuff. So Melkor, who was a Maiar, I believe he was a Maiar. Was he something else? I don't think he was. Was he? I'm forgetting my lore at this point now. Anyway, there's a guy called Melkor who's big and evil, and he declares war on the world in the first age, and he's like the Sauron of the first age. Sauron, like, takes influence from him and does shit in the third age and second age and such later on. Anyway, Melkor and Ungoliant kill those 2 trees, and that is bad because those trees give magic and life to the world. So, yeah. I don't know what they're doing exactly, showing off 2 magical glowing trees in that picture off in the distance, hoping no one will see them, but, I don't know if that screenshot they showed is of Valinor then, or of Numenor. And I'm curious whether there's going to be either a preface in Valinor before the Second Age, because those trees are dead before the Second Age, so I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know, it's a mystery. We'll see eventually. The show comes out in a month and a half, so I'll see then. I'll probably talk about it while I'm doing Ghost of Tsushima or something. But, yeah. Is there anything I can do? Oh yeah, can I toss these letters finally? Am I able to toss them outside? Yeah, it's weird. You don't get the option to throw them away in a building. That's odd. Anyway, I have spent literally like an hour just rambling at this point. So yeah, that's this is me checking in, I guess, and just talking. This may as well be a podcast. Hello, just play this as background noise with Animal Crossing music in the background. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. It's what I expect of this. I think this is kind of why I didn't come back to this exactly for so many months, is that there isn't honestly, like, the gameplay of this game is literally like 15 minutes. There's not a whole lot for me to do here. I could, like, if I were to constantly, like, do day after day after day after day, just constantly resetting the console and trying to get money and buying items and doing all this stuff, I could do that, but I don't really want to. I'm not that diehard. I used to, but I'm not that diehard about Animal Crossing anymore. Especially after New Horizons. New Horizons was fun, and I found it addicting for a little while, but I haven't played it since last time I put it on the channel, which at this point was 2 months to a year from last year, so yeah. Last time I played New Horizons was in, like, early October. I think it was early October. But yeah, I have other topics I could talk about, but I think I have chewed enough ears for the day. I think I have talked enough. That is it. The end. I was thinking about, like, you know, Post Me should just cut the video right there, but nah. We're gonna end this in style with the translator and figure out what Lloyd the gyroid is saying. Alright, what you got, Lloyd? Correct the message. I think it's the second option. Give items. No. I want to be. I want to be where the people are. Na, 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 na. Disney, do not sue me for muttering the melody of a Little Mermaid song. Yeah, okay, so this is end. Alright, yeah. Maybe soon I'll come back with something a little bit more interesting. Maybe for the N64. Maybe I'll continue Pokemon Stadium 2. Once again, that's something I just kind of forgot about and didn't go back to. For some reason. I'm a very busy person. It just, like, I'll plan something, I'll do something, and then I'll forget about it. It's like, okay, I'm done with that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and for some reason listening to me talk about Fantasy Worlds for an hour. Hopefully, there is a game. So right now, let me think about what I'm actually going to be doing this year. For the remainder of the year. So, Uncharted 2 will be happening sometime this fall. I don't know exactly when, but sometime between late September to mid-November, there will be Uncharted 2 somewhere in there. I might be able to start... I'm gonna play a little bit of on my own, just to get a feel for it. I talked about it last time, I think, on Ghost of Tsushima or Breath of the Wild. I keep saying Breath of the Wild. Skyward Sword, oh, man. I'm tired. But I brought up in a recent part about ordering a RPG that, for some reason, has gotten very little coverage, yet it had a big, like... oh, this game's coming to North America for the first time and such, and it's gonna be on Switch, and everybody was excited. And now there's like 1 or 2 playthroughs of it and everything. There's tons of review videos, but there's nobody who's played through the game, really. At least on YouTube. My throat's also getting dry. So I'm gonna play a little bit on my own. It's a longer game. It's an RPG, so it's longish. I don't actually know how long it is. I need to look that up before I do anything. I'll do that right after I'm done recording this. But I'm gonna scope it out, see if it's something I want to do, and that would be started probably sometime in early September, maybe? Sometime in September, I'll just say. Sometime in September. If I get the gumption to try and finish it, I might continue Mario 64, might. I don't plan on going back to new Pokemon Snap in any of the near future, but Mario 64 I do intend to finish. I just kind of fell off it because I was busy doing other things. And I've been trying to think of like a simulation game I could play. Something like, I own A-Train Express for the PS4, I could do Zoo Tycoon on the Xbox One, I could do Civilization 5. I don't know what to do. And I've kind of been indecisive. And at this point, I've kind of just been playing Civ 5 on occasion on my own. Because I'm just like, well, I want to play a simulation game, but, simulation. A strategy kind of simulation-y thing. You know what I mean. Anyway. So there's like, that's kind of in the ether at the moment. It's in the aether. It's just kind of out there. So it's an idea floating around. I do own Kaze and the Wild Masks now, and Immortals Phoenix Rising. I did finally get both of those. So Kaze, if I do play it, would be a one-off. Unless for some reason I found it very entertaining or good. I don't expect it to be. I expect it to be alright. And Immortals Phoenix Rising would be something kind of like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where it'd be just maybe like a 2 to 4 parter, maybe. It's a longer game as well, so these longer games, man, I want to play them and show them on the channel, but they take so much time. Is there anything else? Spirit of the North. I talked about that last time, I think, as well. I got that for the Switch. That would probably be a 2-off, knowing the length of the game. The game's a lot longer than the first tree. I'm looking down at my copy to make sure I said the name right. Yeah, the first tree. I forgot the name of it for a second. So, it's another magical fox game, and it's about 5 hours long, so I think that would be probably a 2 to 3 parter, I don't know. But that's on the docket. And that's kind of all I have at the moment that I can think of. Yeah, the 3 major things that I plan, like, the 3 main things that I plan to get done, at least by the end of this year, is Uncharted 2. I want to finish Ghost of Tsushima. I want to, like, Ghost of Tsushima's done already. I almost said dead. Ghost of Tsushima's dead. Jin Sakai has died in action. Ghost of Tsushima's DLC comes out in a few weeks, and I don't know how long that is, so I've kind of opened up space to do that. I've kind of gotten back into a Ghost of Tsushima mode. Pretty close to, well, it's been a year since the game's been out, but yeah, so Ghost of Tsushima is like the main premiere thing for the year, then Uncharted 2 in the fall, and then this other RPG game I have high expectations for, but I still need to figure things out about whether I want to commit to that, because I don't want another Final Fantasy VII Remake scenario, or Zelda Skyward Sword in the shorter term of doing, like, starting something and then just not being able to follow through because of time constraints, because of disinterest, because of whatever. So, yeah. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. And thank you for listening to that secondary little rant, I guess, about the current situation with the channel. Anyway. See you later, and have a good night. Maybe I'll play this game again, maybe not. Maybe I'll play some Star Fox 64 or something. I said that earlier in the year. Yeah, I'm looking over there at my copy, and I'm just like, you know, Star Fox 64, this sounds pretty fun. Maybe I'll play that sometime soon. See you later.